So we cleared out the air, and the confession was made on the other person's part that yes, they lied. But if that will ever come out from the person's mouth, who knows? Who cares? I've addressed it.
What's independence? Let me try this out and see what it's all about. And so I learned immediately along the way.
Maya never dared to expose Jay Z and Beyoncé until now. From late-night studio sessions to whispered rumors and cold industry silence, Maya's story is deeper than a catchy remix.
2020, fresh into the pandemic, on Valentine's Day, you married yourself for your music video, The Truth.
For years, she kept quiet while Jay Z and Beyoncé rose as music royalty. But behind the fame was a storm Maya had to survive alone. Was she a threat to their image? Did the remix come with a hidden cost?
Identified only as Jane Doe, says she was by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000.
Now, the silence breaks, and what Maya reveals could change everything we thought we knew.
It's been 26 years, and I was 16, like you mentioned, when I got my first deal offered by an independent label in Washington, D.C.
There's been buzz about alleged tension between Maya and Beyoncé. Yep, Beyoncé. And it all ties back to rumors about Jay Z. So what's the story here? It all started with a song. When Maya released the remix of The Best of Me Part 2 with Jay Z, people started talking. It wasn't just about the music anymore. The beat was hot, the lyrics were strong, but fans felt there was something more behind the scenes. Jay Z was already known for mixing business with pleasure. He worked with many beautiful women in the industry. So, when the remix came out, people began to wonder, was something going on between Maya and Jay Z? Were they more than just co-workers in the studio? At that time, people also started asking where Beyoncé fit into this picture. Was she already with Jay Z? If she was, how serious were they back then? These questions started to grow. No one had proof, but the gossip wouldn't stop. People were trying to figure out if this remix was just music or something deeper. Maya never confirmed anything. In fact, she stayed away from the topic. For years, she didn't speak about it at all. But in the music business, silence can still create noise. People behind the scenes, insiders, managers, DJs, began whispering that Maya's closeness to Jay Z was a problem. Even if nothing happened between them, people acted like something did. That caused trouble for Maya, not just with Beyoncé, but also with the people around her, the ones with power and influence. It didn't help that Jay Z and Beyoncé were becoming more public as a couple around that time. Fans were starting to see them together in photos and videos. People were beginning to accept them as a power couple. So now, anyone who looked like they could be a threat to that image, like Maya, became a target of hate and suspicion. Maya didn't even have to say anything wrong. Just being seen next to Jay Z was enough for people to assume the worst. Years passed, but the internet didn't forget. Old photos and interviews started popping up again. Blogs and fan pages began pushing the idea that The Best of Me Part 2 wasn't just a studio session. They made timelines. They shared posts suggesting Maya and Jay Z were once involved. Then, in 2014, Beyoncé released a song called Resentment.
Just can't seem to get over the way you hurt me.
In it, she sang painful words like, "I'll always remember feeling like I was no good, like I couldn't do it for you like that whore could." These lyrics made people look back at Maya. Some believed Beyoncé was talking about her, even though no names were mentioned. Through all this, Maya stayed silent. But in 2014, a fan asked her directly on Instagram if she ever had an affair with Jay Z. This time, Maya answered. She replied right away saying, "Never did, never was, never will. Illegitimate, thirsty sources with no facts, and that's the media for you, especially today." Her answer was clear and strong. She denied everything and called out the gossip for being fake. But even with her denial, the rumors didn't stop. That's how blackballing works in the music world. You don't need proof to ruin someone's career. People just need to believe you did something wrong. After that remix with Jay Z, the idea that Maya had crossed a line was all it took. Maybe it was jealousy, or maybe it was business politics. Either way, Maya's support from big record labels began to disappear. In 2014, Maya released a new project on her own. It was called Sweet 16. The songs were good, and the production was high quality. But the album didn't make it on the music charts. It didn't get radio play. Maya couldn't get interviews like she used to. She didn't appear on TV. No more red carpets. It was like she had been erased from the spotlight. If you look at the timeline, it becomes clear. Before the remix with Jay Z, Maya was seen as one of the top stars in R&B and pop music. She didn't fade out because of her talent. She was pushed out, quietly but clearly. To this day, no one from that powerful circle, not Jay Z, not Beyonce, not anyone from Rock Nation, has spoken about what happened with Maya. They have never explained the change, but Maya has always stood by her choices. She has said that she turned down things that didn't feel right to her. In the music industry, saying no to the wrong people can get you blacklisted. Things only got more complicated when Diddy entered the picture. After Maya's career slowed down, people noticed something else. Jay Z and Diddy were more than just business partners. They were very close. They worked together, attended big events together, and vacationed together. On the surface, they looked like friendly rivals. But in reality, they were part of the same group. Rich, powerful men who looked out for each other. Fast forward to December 2024. Jay Z was pulled into a lawsuit.
This morning, rap mogul Jay Z is denying allegations he sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay Z.
The case claimed that he had done some of the same wrong things that Diddy was being accused of.
Accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was sexually assaulted by both men at a Video Music Awards after party in 2000.
Jay Z fought back by calling the lawyer, Tony Busby, a fraud. Jay Z said the claims were lies and said the people behind them were greedy. He even said he felt pain for his family, especially his kids, who had to hear these things. But the lawyer didn't stay quiet. Busby said Jay Z was trying to silence victims. He revealed that Jay Z had sued him under a fake name. He also said that one of the women he represented never asked for money. She just wanted a private meeting to talk about what happened. Instead, Jay Z sued them. Busby said this wasn't justice, it was bullying, and he made it clear that the case would go to court. This made fans start thinking again. If Diddy was being taken down for serious things, could Jay Z also be part of that same system? Were these rich, powerful men using their influence to stay protected while others suffered? And if so, who else might be involved? People started talking again, not just about Maya, but also about Foxy Brown. Aaliyah. And even Beyonce. Foxy had shared dark stories in the past. She said she lost her virginity to Jay Z when she was just 15. She claimed he took care of her financially when she was still in high school. She even said that some of their private moments were recorded, and one of those tapes went missing from her home. Foxy also said Jay Z made her sign documents to stay silent. One story was especially disturbing. She said a recording involved both Jay Z and actor Jamie Foxx. It was something she later said felt wrong and left her hurt. All of this made people look at Foxy differently. They started to believe her. The idea that Jay Z had this much control was no longer shocking. It was expected. And then came the questions about Beyonce. When she and Jay Z started dating, she was 19. He was 31. Beyoncé has said they waited until she was of legal age to start their relationship, but fans have always been unsure. Beyoncé grew up focused on work. Her life was strict and filled with practice and rehearsals. Jay Z came into her life when she had very little freedom. Some people wonder, was he there too early? Did he see a young woman with talent and shape her life from behind the scenes? Back to Maya. When people talk about Maya, they don't hold back. They speak honestly because she's the kind of woman who leaves a strong impression. One rapper in particular didn't hide how he felt about her. He wrote a whole song saying he used to dream about being with Maya. He remembered being a young teenager, staring at her posters on his bedroom wall. Back then, he wasn't famous. He was just a regular kid who admired a beautiful, talented woman. And when he finally got the chance to date her, he couldn't believe it. For him, being with Maya was like living in a dream. She was more than just a pretty face. He said he loved everything about her, her heart, her kindness, her beauty, and her realness. He called her one of the most wholesome, beautiful, and amazing singers he had ever met. To him, Maya wasn't like other celebrities. She had a warm spirit and a simple, pure soul.
I'm not a fan of things that project false things as well as disrespect someone's character.
The rapper didn't stop there. He joked around about what Maya was really like. He said she reminded him of the kind of woman who would walk barefoot on the beach, eat fresh fruit, and light incense to make her home smell good. He compared her to other soulful stars like Erykah Badu and Jhené Aiko. That meant she had a peaceful, loving, natural way about her. Maya didn't act fake. She didn't try to be someone she wasn't. She was true to herself. When he filmed the music video for the song Dreams, his life wasn't perfect. He was still going through a lot. He had a condo on Wilshire Boulevard, which sounds fancy, but inside there was no furniture, just an air mattress. Still, Maya didn't care about that. She would come over, cook for him, and spend time with him like everything was normal. That meant a lot to him. It showed her kindness and how down-to-earth she was. She didn't judge him or treat him differently because he wasn't rich yet. She cared about who he was on the inside. But not everyone treated Maya with that kind of respect. Another rapper, 50 Cent,
Go, shorty. It's your birthday.
said in a song that he had been with Maya. This caused a lot of problems because it wasn't true. Maya didn't stay quiet. She quickly spoke up and shut down the rumor. She called it a lie and said she didn't like it when people used her name just to get attention or sell music. One time, a reporter from 50 Cent's team tried to talk to her at an event. Maya didn't hold back. She told the reporter off right away. She said, "I don't get down like that, and I don't appreciate people lying to get attention." She was very firm about it. Maya made it clear that she didn't play games when it came to her name and her image. She wasn't going to let anyone spread false stories about her.
I don't get down like that. I don't appreciate that. And you have to pray for people that will do anything for numbers, ratings, a song, or popularity.
Maya believes it's important to protect your character. She said you have to pray for people who will do anything to get famous. Even though 50 Cent might have said later in private that he lied, that didn't fix the damage. Maya still stood strong. She said that some things are not okay, even if someone says sorry later. She wasn't going to stay quiet just because the person was famous. Maya showed everyone that she was not afraid to speak the truth and stand up for herself. She doesn't allow disrespect. That's one reason people admire her. She has values and sticks to them, even when it's hard.
So we cleared out the air, and the confession was made on the other person's part that yes, they lied. But if that will ever come out from the person's mouth, who knows? Who cares? I've addressed it.
But being famous isn't always easy. Behind the scenes, Maya was dealing with big problems. She had trouble with her record label. She worked hard on her next album, which was called Liberation, but the album kept getting delayed. Then, something even worse happened. The whole album leaked online before it was released.
I worked on my 4th studio album. It was like an accidental release, release dates change. And there are different territories in the world that sometimes don't get the memo. And so it leaked in Japan. And they loved it.
Maya felt frustrated and hurt. She said she had put so much time and energy into the album. She even helped produce it herself. But the label kept changing the release date. And when the album leaked, the label decided not to release it at all. That's how the music business works sometimes. If a project leaks, they act like it doesn't matter anymore. Maya could have taken them to court, but that would have taken years and cost a lot of money. She didn't want to waste more time fighting. So Maya made a brave decision. She left the label. She chose to go independent. That meant she would make music on her own, without a big company behind her. It was a scary step, but she was tired of fighting for her voice to be heard. She didn't want people telling her what kind of music to make or how she should look. She wanted to be in charge of her own career. Her first independent album came out in Japan only. Some people thought that was strange, but Maya didn't care. She just wanted to keep making music. She didn't need anyone's approval. She showed the world that she could do it by herself. She stayed strong and kept going, even when things were hard.
What's independence? Let me try this out and see what it's all about. And so I learned immediately along the way, executive production happened, casting my own producers, assembling an album, funding, of course, and what that looks like.
That's always fun.
Starting over wasn't easy. Maya admitted that it hurt to leave her label. It felt like losing a part of her past, but in the end, it was the best thing she could have done. She found her freedom. She no longer had to wait for someone else to give her permission to make music. She said she didn't want to wait around for a budget to be approved. Music is her passion. It's what makes her feel alive. Maya is an artist, and artists need to create. She knew she had to take control of her life. That's what she did, and it changed everything for her. Maya is also very private. People are always curious about her love life. They wonder who she's dating or if she's ever been married. But Maya doesn't share those details. She keeps her personal life to herself. Over the years, there have been rumors linking her to different rappers, but Maya never talks about it. She doesn't feel the need to explain her relationships to the public. She believes that some things should stay private. That's how she protects her peace. There was one time Maya shared a little story. She said she was in a meeting at a music company with her father. Chris Lighty was there too. He was managing an artist at the time. That artist interrupted their meeting and said something that wasn't true. Later, the truth came out, and everyone realized the artist had lied. But Maya didn't let it bother her. She said, sometimes people make mistakes. What matters is how you handle it. She didn't wait around for an apology. She just moved on and kept living her life. She said you have to pray for people who try to tear you down. Maya has faced many challenges in her career. Some people in the music industry didn't respect her. They tried to control her or make her do things she didn't want to do. Maya didn't give in. She refused to let people push her around. Sometimes saying no meant losing opportunities. But Maya didn't care. She knew who she was and what she stood for. That gave her the strength to keep going, even when the industry turned its back on her. She's not just a singer. Maya is a strong woman who knows her worth. She doesn't need outside praise to feel good about herself. She's confident in who she is. She doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her strength comes from within. She has built her life around honesty, confidence, and self-respect. She walks her own path and doesn't let the world shake her. One of the boldest things Maya ever did was marry herself. Yes, you read that right. In 2020, photos came out showing Maya in a wedding dress on the beach. But there was no groom. People were shocked. Some thought it was fake. Others thought she was just trying to get attention. But Maya explained what it really meant. She said people always asked why she wasn't married or didn't have kids. She had been proposed to many times, but she wanted to send a different message. She said, "I married myself." It was part of a music video, but it was also something deeper.
2020, fresh into the pandemic, on Valentine's Day, you married yourself for your music video, The Truth.
Maya wanted to show the world that loving yourself is powerful. She said she made a spiritual commitment to herself. That means she promised to take care of herself, love herself, and always stay true to who she is. The wedding was a symbol of that love. It wasn't about being alone. It was about being whole. She said, "I married myself to show that you don't need to wait for someone else to complete you. You can be enough for yourself." And she looked beautiful doing it. She stood on the beach in her wedding dress with the ocean behind her, strong and peaceful. Maya also started her own record label called Planet 9. That name tells you everything about how she sees the world. She wants to live on her own terms. She's not trying to fit into anyone else's rules. She said, "My planet might not revolve around the sun every 365 days. That means she doesn't do things on anyone else's schedule. If it takes her 7 years to finish something, that's okay. She's going to do it in her own time. Her goal is to be happy, healthy, and true to herself. That's what matters most to her." Through it all, Maya has stayed true to who she is. She never let the fame change her. She never gave in to pressure. She followed her heart, protected her name, and stayed strong. She's shown that you can be successful without losing yourself. Maya is more than a singer. She's a symbol of strength, peace, and real love. She is a queen in every sense, and her story teaches us all to stand tall, believe in ourselves, and never settle for less than we deserve.